Hey homeschoolers, I'm Melissa Webb, former full-time classroom teacher and homeschool mom turned full-time business CEO, determined and dedicated to helping you in this journey that you're on. Yes, I want to give you sound, educational, practical tips and advice, at the same time making sure that you're enjoying the family journey that you are on. So if you are looking for a place to be encouraged and inspired, you have found the perfect podcast. Homeschooling is a work of heart is truly the perfect place to start. So welcome. Let's jump in. Well, hello, friends. I have some exciting news to share. I may be getting a little bit ahead of myself, but as most of you know, I develop ELA, English Language Arts, curriculum specifically for the 3 core writing standards, among many other things I do. But this business of mine, Right on Web, began in 2019, and it has come a long way. And what we have created is pretty amazing. And so for years, I've been supporting the homeschool community. I have such a heart for homeschooling families, and I want to be in your camp. I want to be a part of that community. You are the nearest and dearest to my heart. But for years, one of my besties has been pushing me to expand and to share what I've created with school districts, with credentialed teachers. And I have given her so much pushback. I say things like, oh my goodness, classroom teachers don't need this. They don't want this. And for years, she has disagreed with me. And she has said they do. They absolutely do. And I'm reading what some of these kiddos are writing, and they don't have a great writing program. And I'm telling you, they really need you. And I've just pushed it away and pushed it away, but not this year. No, this year she put her foot down. She scheduled a meeting for me to share what we're doing with a school principal in her school district. And then that person directed me to their curriculum coordinator. And after that extensive meeting, I have been told that I need to put a proposal together so that they might purchase my program. She couldn't have been more encouraging. She loves the program, what we're doing, the results it's producing. And so that's exciting, right? And scary and uncertain and thrilling and I could go on and on and on. I think it is fascinating to sit back and watch my emotions rise and fall. And I do this on purpose from time to time. I know sometimes we all sit too close to our feelings and we're so wrapped up in them, but I find it to be far more interesting and considerably more helpful to intentionally and metaphorically step back and just observe. One of my favorite emotions is curiosity. I love when I'm feeling curious. Earlier in my entrepreneurial journey, I had a coach who shared what she calls the 5 S's. At the time, I was complaining. I was complaining about the challenges that were coming with selling this product. I mean, I have put countless hours into creating something that I still to this day, I think it is academically spectacular. That probably sounds like I'm completely bragging, but for all of the hours and work, sweat and tears that I have put into it, I don't feel like that's bragging. I'm just really proud of the gifts that God has given me. And I do think what we have is academically spectacular. I have attended dozens of vendor fairs and homeschool events, and I've been on podcasts talking about what I do. I've written blogs. I have put myself out there. And believe it or not, yes, there have been people who have had the audacity to say, yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. Isn't it funny? Like, I have to laugh. What is it? 100 people could say such positive things to me and about me, and one person who kindly rejects my product, and suddenly I'm spiraling downward. What is it that makes us all want everyone to value us? That's a topic for another day. But during this time, I had a great coach who said, hey, I want you just to remember these 5 S's, and they have served me well. This is what she said. Some will, some won't. So what? Stop whining. Someone's waiting. Those 5 S's, they've come to mind so many times, and they're so helpful to me. Some will, some won't. So what? Stop whining. Someone's waiting. It's like accepting what is and then moving forward despite that. And so now who's waiting for me? A school district. I have a school district waiting on me now. And with that, a flood of emotions are heading my way, and I'm accepting them, all of them. The ups, sure. The downs, sure. All of it. But that did get me thinking about you, all of my homeschooling buddies, my teachers, my friends, all of you that tune in and listen. I just love and appreciate you so much. But I know you're having your own challenges. And so I really wanted to talk about acceptance this week. And I'm curious how you are doing with accepting your life right now, whatever that may be. The person that I credit giving me so many tools for handling and accepting life in all its glory, that goes to Byron Katie. I have listened and read her book. She just has amazing teachings. And she was the first person who introduced me to this idea of no longer fighting with reality, but instead accepting it. Accepting it. So life is 50-50. Do you accept that? That might be a place to start for some of you. I believe this. Life is half joy and half challenge. And that's normal. That's supposed to be our human experience. That's how it was designed. Now, society will advertise differently. They want to advertise all the things that are going to bring us happiness. That's the goal, the ultimate goal, a life of all happiness. And you can even buy your way to happy. Isn't that great news? You need a travel destination to paradise, maybe. Then you'll be happy. No. Maybe it's that new luxury car to feel the thrill of life. Maybe that's our happy. Or, it's happening. The pumpkin spice latte is back. The truest form of happiness in a cup. I know it sounds so silly, but these ads work. They do work, and they work for a reason, because our brains are on this search for constant and complete happiness. Who doesn't want to experience one happy moment after another? Sounds delightful, but that is not reality. That doesn't exist. Happiness is a moment in time, and it's going to ebb and it's going to flow. So what Byron Katie has taught me is that our goal isn't to chase happiness, and it's also not to erase the hard. That 50%, that's the challenge. We're not supposed to erase it or think that anything's wrong. What we really want to do is just stop resenting it. Stop being mad at it. It just is. Reality is always going to win. Try fighting with it. She's like, you can fight with it all you want. Just know it's going to win, but only 100% of the time. The reality is that the more we argue with reality, whatever is, the more exhausted we're going to feel. That's the only thing that's going to happen. And you know what happens then? We create this inward, uncomfortable struggle. And I want to be so clear. I am not saying that acceptance means you just give up on things. No, change what you can change. 100%. I'm with that. But what acceptance does do is it says, I'm choosing to work with what's real instead of wasting energy wishing it wasn't real. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Here are some examples. I hear moms feeling defeated constantly. I get so many emails and they'll say things like, hey, Melissa, we are fighting. I am really fighting with my child today. She just doesn't want to write. And she just wants to take today off. She's just fighting me. I feel like I just feel defeated. And my response is, hey, that's okay. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with taking a day off. Kids resisting work, I should say humans resisting work, is normal. There's that part of our brain, and this is what a healthy brain does. It says, that's going to exert energy, and I think maybe we should save our energy. You never know if a saber-toothed tiger is going to show up on the front porch today. We have these primitive brains that are afraid of things that aren't even a threat, but it is normal. And it's not proof that your child is failing or that you're failing as a homeschool parent or that the program is failing. Nothing's failing. So I come in with a very calm response. Let's just accept that today, that's maybe a fight you don't want to fight. And you have just a calm, reasonable conversation. And say, okay, well, what is it you're feeling like doing today? And let's double up on that. And then tomorrow we'll double up on the writing because I'm sure you'll be feeling better tomorrow, right? Or I'll get this email where a parent will say, oh no, you're going to be disappointed in us. We're behind schedule this week. To which I'm like, okay, I'm not disappointed in you. Why would I be disappointed in you? The schedule that I create is a tool, and it's not meant to measure your child's worth or their skill level or your worth. That's not what the schedule is for. The schedule is a tool to keep you on pace so that you never have the feeling of overwhelm later on. So I asked them, so what do you want to make it mean? Like you're behind. Does that mean maybe you need to do a little work on Saturday or maybe Sunday afternoon? Okay, make it work. It's okay. We don't have to fight with reality. I just find that accepting it and coming up with a solution moving forward feels so much better. I'm not wasting angry energy. Maybe you have something on your mind that's not even school related. I will hear moms struggle with their thoughts, things like, the house is a mess again, and I'm not able to homeschool and keep things tidy like I've always thought I could. I'm failing. It's just crazy, these thoughts that come into our mind. There's nothing wrong with us. We're not crazy for thinking them, but we do need to be able to say, hey, thought, you're crazy, and I don't want to think you anymore. Again, just be like, okay. And you know what else is true? A mess is evidence of a very lived-in learning home. That's also true. Which one feels better? Choose the thoughts that are going to serve you. I'm curious how often you beat yourself up with thoughts like, I just don't have enough patience for my kids or for my husband or for my in-laws. Okay. You know, impatience is a very human trait. There's nothing wrong. I don't think we were given the plethora of emotions that we have by mistake. I think we're supposed to deal with this multitude of emotions. If we were supposed to be happy all the time, wouldn't that have been the only emotion we were given? Maybe we're supposed to practice impatience and rise above. Notice things with compassion. It is going to change your reality so much faster than self-criticism ever could do. But, yes, I can hear your thoughts through these airwaves right now. I can. Some of you are like, but if I just accept things as they are, I'll get lazy or my kids will get lazy or nothing will ever change. Or, but acceptance. This sounds like I'm lowering my standards. Ooh, that's powerful. Or, but if I stop being frustrated with my kids, they're going to think that what they're doing is okay. Really? Okay. But some things really are unfair, or some things are just, they're too hard to accept. Okay. I am not going to argue with anybody who wants to fight me on this. I'm just not. You know why? Because that's your reality. So if your reality is that you just want to fight me, I can accept that too. Sure, I hear you. And you are welcome to continue your fight with reality all the days of your life. You go for it. Or, or you may want to change some things moving forward in the ways that you can. Because acceptance is not passivity. Acceptance is the starting line for a meaningful change. Have you ever planned for a lovely picnic, let's say, and you do all the things to prepare and you're imagining it being wonderful, and that morning it's a little cloudy, and you're like, okay, well, that'll be nice shade and cooler weather. And you go and all of a sudden it rains. Now, you could just yell at the rain and tell it to stop. You could. But why? It's raining. It sounds silly, right? If you're like, well, now I can't enjoy this picnic because of this rain. Okay, you could change things up. There are things you can do. Don't be passive and just sit there in the rain. Be like, okay, I was afraid this could happen, but I did bring an easy up. Or, hey, let's take this indoors. Let's do something different. I say we go roller skating. The thing is that there are just those things that we can't prepare for. They're going to happen. And it's better to just simply accept them. Even find ways to search for the humor in things. That feels better to laugh than to just be mad. And our high standards do not disappear when we accept things. In fact, I think our standards become more achievable because we're not going to waste energy fighting with reality and showing up as a really ugly person who's just mad and angry and frustrated all the time. That's not the love we want to show our children or our family or our friends. Children are learning from us, and they are learning best from our calm consistency. When you accept that they're resisting something without spiraling yourself, you then are modeling self-control. And that is teaching our children so much better than a lecture that's screaming at them. Yes, life is going to hand out unfair and hard things. Remember 50-50? Acceptance doesn't deny that 50% of life is challenging. It just keeps us from adding unnecessary suffering on top of the 50% that's hard. When I realized that, like I literally had an aha moment with this, and I hope somebody's going to have it today. When I was like, oh, so that's normal that 50% is going to be hard and difficult, and I'm not going to like it. All of a sudden, when things like that, things that fell into that bucket happened, I was happier. I was like, oh, this is just that 50%. Got it. Okay, I'm not going to fight it because I know it's going to ebb and flow too. And it made the 50% challenge of life less challenging. I don't think I live a 50-50 life because of this. I think I live a more 80-20 life. 80% of the time, I am A-okay with whatever is happening. And yeah, 20% is still really, really, really hard and sad and frustrating and heartbreaking and all those things. So I just want you to take some time today or this week or this weekend, and I just want you to consider some of your realities. I want you to get in touch with some of your realities, specifically the ones that are spilling into and creating negative reactions that are then stealing your joy. I don't want that for you. I want you to know your realities and change what you can and accept what you can't. And I don't know what that could be for you. What are your realities? Are you really tired? That could be your reality. Maybe there have been some late nights. You have a sick child, or you've been getting up super early because you've agreed to this boot camp and now you're just exhausted. Or maybe there's just constant demands. Maybe your parents are not doing well and they need your time, but you're homeschooling and your children need you too. And there are these constant demands. Maybe you work a job and you're a full-time homeschooler. Maybe those demands are just making you so tired. That could be your reality. Okay, you're tired. That is the truth. But now what? I want you just to feel the difference for a second, okay? I'm going to do this little experiment with you. I want you to listen to these thoughts. I should have gone to bed earlier. I never should have agreed to that boot camp. Okay, those are thoughts. They're truths for you, right? Versus, I'm tired today. I'm going to get to bed earlier tonight. At least I know why I'm tired and why I'm short-tempered. Do you feel the difference? When we throw in the, I just should have, or I shouldn't have, or those fights with reality are going to take up a lot of really useful energy, but in a negative way. Versus acceptance, I am tired. I'm going to go to bed early. Maybe I'm going to back out of this boot camp. Or I'm going to just tell myself, hey, it's just 2 more weeks. Accepting it, changing what you can, there is a difference there. And I want you to just think about that. That may not be your only tough reality. There are a lot of tough realities in this world we live in. How are your finances? Money troubles leave many of us feeling pressured. You don't think that flows into other parts of your life? Of course it does. How's your marriage? How are relationships? Are there tensions? That affects things. And don't overlook social media noise, whether it's news or politics or other people's opinions or debates people are having or judgments people are making. Like all of that has an impact. Those are realities. And there are mental and physical challenges that make just getting through a day a very big accomplishment. I know your realities are tough. 50% of your life is filled with that. So what do? Yes, of course I have an activity as we wrap up this week. I want you to grab your journal, and especially if this topic is speaking loudly to you today, I want you to get quiet. So look at where we are in the podcast. What is the minute time? I know I'm going long on this one. It's, probably 23 or 24 minute mark. You may need to come back and re-listen to this piece. Listen to it right now all the way through. You know I love it when you listen to things more than once. We should be rereading, re-listening, because every time we do, we were changed a little bit. So you're going to hear it again and you're going to hear something different. So just mark that spot. But I have this activity, these 5 things I really want you to consider doing. But you need to get seated. You need to take a few deep cleansing breaths and let it out and find your quiet spot. And I want you to do these things in your journal and in your mind. So number 1, first, I just want you to notice the thoughts that are causing the stress, the negative emotions, okay? There's situations that create our thoughts, and you need to know the difference. There's a difference between a thought and a situation, okay? So I'm going to use myself as the example here. I'm having a lot of thoughts about this new proposal I've been asked to create for a school to purchase my writing program, okay? So here's a thought I have. I don't know how to create a school-wide curriculum for credentialed teachers. I've never done that. Okay, these are my thoughts. How do I feel? Confused, ill-equipped, insufficient, doubtful. So I have to notice what's causing the negative thoughts or the stress. Okay, now that is different than the situation. The situation has no emotion attached. The situation is I've been asked to submit a proposal. That's just a situation. It's what I think about that situation that creates all my emotions. And it's the same with you. So notice the reality from the thought. The reality, the situation, shouldn't have an emotion attached to it until I have a thought about it. So situation, I've been asked to submit this proposal. That's a situation. Then here are all of my thoughts. You've got to know the difference. So pay attention to that first. Then I want you to ask Byron Katie's question. So this is the second thing you're going to do. You're going to ask based on your thought, not the situation, but what you're thinking about it, because that's where the stress is coming from. Who would you be without that thought? So I do this with myself. I'm like, okay, so this thought that I have, like, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Who would I be if I didn't have that thought? If I didn't believe that, if I didn't believe I don't know what I'm doing, then what would I be believing? The opposite. I'd be someone willing to say, I could figure that out though. I could figure this out. Notice the change. It's already happening. And this is taking seconds, a few minutes. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to replace the I don't know how, or this shouldn't be happening. Wow, we do that one a lot. I shouldn't have, she shouldn't have, he shouldn't have. Drop it. I want you to replace it with this is happening. How do I want to show up? Acceptance. This is the acceptance step. It's really important. What is happening? My reality. I've been asked to create a proposal. Okay. How do I want to show up? I want to see what I'm capable of doing. Such different feelings follow. I'm sure you can feel them along with me. The fourth step is that I want you to remind yourself that acceptance, that's an emotion, calms the mind. Positive emotions are more calming to our brain than negative ones. And a calm mind creates better solutions. I don't know, have you ever been in a 911 kind of emergency? I know many of you have, and I'm so sorry for some of the traumas you've experienced. Different people, as you know, react differently in emergencies. But I want you to think for a second, if we were all in a boat and our boat was sinking, who do you want with us? Do you want a frantic person who's yelling, this shouldn't be happening, this shouldn't be happening? Or do you want a person who's calm? Okay, this is happening, folks. Here's what I think we should try. Which person do you want with you? And better yet, who do you want to be? And better than that, who do you want your child to grow up and become? Because you are your child's role model. We want to master these skills, my friends. Yes, for us, but also for our children. The last thing I want you to do is to then take another deep breath and spend a moment in gratitude. You might be like, whoa, where'd this come from? Nope, it's important. At the end of this time that you spend a moment in gratitude. I want you to consider what is going well in your life. I am not saying that gratitude fixes everything. It's not going to remove some of the confusion or erase all the pain. It's not. But you know what it does? Gratitude widens perspective. It does. And we are to dwell on things that are good. We are called to do that. And did you know that worry and appreciation can exist in the same moment? They both can, so make time to be grateful. I really hope this episode landed for you. And maybe it even has your precious heart thinking of a friend or a family member who you love, maybe somebody who is struggling with some difficult realities. They're out there 50% of the time. Maybe that person could also benefit from listening in to this episode. So as always, I'm encouraging you to pass this on to somebody that you think would really get a heart hug from me, because I'm doing just that. I am hugging you with my heart, all of you. I know it's hard half the time. It's also joyful. And you know what else is true? Together is better. So I've done my part. I've put it out there. It's your turn. Please share it. And right on, my friend. Have a great week. Well, thanks so much for tuning in and listening this week. Hey, if this was something that you found valuable, don't forget you want to subscribe or follow so that every time a new episode is dropped, you'll be the first to know. And hey, before you go, if you are looking to get some of this academic writing under your belt and outsourced so that it's one less thing, freeing you up to enjoy more time with your family, hey, you're going to want to head over to writeonweb.com to see what kinds of resources and materials I have available for you. I will look forward to seeing you there, and I will look forward to seeing you here in our next episode. Right on.